Alright guys, first I'm going to take off the wheel. Taking off the wheel. Pushing it under the car for extra safety. I've got to remove these two Phillips head screws. Guys, if these don't open right up, you'll need an impact driver. Get yourself an impact driver, or watch my second video, actually my third video, part 3, getting the MG to roll. I show you how to get these unfrozen. Now the brake drum is a little bit stuck, so I'm going to use a rubber mallet just to jostle it free. Finally. Well, once you've got it open, you always want to take pictures of everything and use one side as a schematic to rebuild the other side. So I've already got the other side open, and I'm going to use this side as my blueprint or schematic for putting together the other side. Even though I did take lots of pictures, it's good to take pictures and leave the other side alone until you've completed work on the first side. So one thing I'm going to do is remove this spring here, this top spring. Here I have my brake tool. Sometimes I just like to use this end to push the spring back. There we go. That end works great for that. All right, so now kind of grab it and push it through. There we go. There goes the spring. All right, so that spring's free on top. Now I'm going to use my brake spring return tool. See, I've got my brake spring return tool here to push down and turn on these brake springs until they pop out. There we go. That's out. So you just got to push and turn with the brake spring return tool, and it pops this little spring holder on. Alright, so the top is loose. You can start to bring it out. Now there is a spring down here. You see it? Let me show you closer. Alright, there is a spring here that I need to remove, so I'm just going to pull that spring off. That spring is holding on to the emergency brake, and then there's another spring back here which I've got to get off as well. So then that spring kind of pokes through here. So there's a spring there and a spring there. I need to remove those two springs now. Use my little tool here to push this little spring through. There it goes, very easy. Just gonna pull that guy out. There we go. So that slides right out. Okay, so here's the bottom shoe, and I like to put it down the way it came off. Here's the left shoe, and I like to put that down the way it came off as well. Put all the springs back kind of in the right orientation. That helps you. Here's the this is part of the handbrake, and then here you've got the piston, which I'm going to replace on the bottom. What I'm going to do now is remove this piston. I'm also going to clean up the dust barrier here, the dust shield, and clean up the hub with a wire wheel, and get this all ready for the new hardware to go in. So I've got to remove this piston first. By the way, I'm using some of these wrenches here, flare nut wrenches, because you don't want to strip these nuts, and they will fit around the brake line nicely, so that's kind of nice. Fits around the brake line but doesn't strip the nut. This is the perfect opportunity to use your flare nut wrenches. Okay, brake line's free. Now there is an E-clip back there that I need to pry off, so try to use the pliers. There's a E-clip holding this piston in place in the back, so I'm going to tear it off. I'm going to push it off. Let's wiggle it out. Need a lot of wiggling. All right, I'll also remove this this here, the e-brake mechanism. Oh. There we go. Came right off, well, with some wiggling. So I'm going to clean all this off before I install anything. The brake clean. Get all this crust off of here. Alright, looks good to me. Let's reassemble stuff. Here's the new piston, ready for install. I'm gonna remove these real quick. So I throw it in, put the E-clip back on. To the brake line and back. There's also a little notch that the piston fits into right there. Yep, the notch goes right in. Tighten down the brake line. All right, next I'm going to clean this up. This is again the hardware for the handbrake. Just going to wipe that off. Maybe go over it with a nylon brush or something. All right, let me pop this back in. It's going to be like this, okay? So it goes in like this. Go. And next I'm going to put this pin back in that retains the brake, the handbrake. All right, here are the new brake pads. I'm going to put them on the same way the old ones came off. All right, here's the bottom spring. So I'm going to put it, I believe it was this way, onto the bottom. So fits through this hole. Okay, and then this one fits through the bottom hole just like that. If I remember correctly, that's how it was. All right, this can fit over this and into the groove. Make sure the groove is lined up, not like this, but into the groove on the piston, and then into this part of the bracket for the handbrake, and then you got your spring. So now that one's set. This one is set. Now let's pull and get the other one set. So this one is not set. Let's get this one into place by pulling and fidgeting around. Gosh. An extreme angle. I don't know if extreme angles are the right thing to do here, but this spring is just killing me. Unfortunately, I don't understand what's going on here. There we go. I'm almost there. There we go. There we go. I'm on. I'm in. All right. There we go. Perfect. It is on. Whew. Okay. So it's pretty much on there. I just need to add the top spring and then add the return springs as well. All right, here's that top spring I was telling you about. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. The way you want it is kind of like this, with the spring, the mass part of the spring below the bar. So you want to attach it something like this. So let's try that. I'm going to fish it behind. I'm fishing it behind and I'm catching it. Hold on. Fishing it behind and catching it. Come on. Let me use my pliers. Catching it there, see? I fished it behind and caught it in that hole right there. And then here, the other end also goes through. The other end stretches to that hole there. So I'm gonna use a pliers to do it. There we go. We got it. We got her. We got her done. All right. Let's push this into place. There we go. All right, that took some finagling, but we got it. So now we got to put the return springs in, and that's easy. Let me show you how to do that. So this is the pin. It's got a slotted notch here. Put that through the back of the dust shield, through the brake shoe, like that. All right, note the orientation. Right now it's a horizontal orientation. That actually helps you to know that it's horizontal right now, because then what you're going to do is you're going to take your spring and your retaining clip here, and you're going to note which way it is into your device. So in my brake spring return tool, I'm going to line it up so that the notch in the tool lines up with the groove of the clip, right? So kind of like that. All right, now I'm going to feed that through and hope I catch. The whole point here is to hope you catch it just right. When you push down, you hope that it catches, and then you turn just like that. You see? So now it's in there, it's properly retained. Now I'm going to do the same for the other side. Woo, I got it. Ha. Nice. First try for both. Move it over a little bit. Okay. Perfect. All right, let's try this. Woo! Woo! Okay. There we go. Woo! That was fun. So here's my new brake drum. Now keep in mind there is a really thin layer of oil here that you need to get rid of. So I'm going to use some brake clean to spray and then wipe that oil off to make sure that the new brake shoes actually grip. All right, so I'm going to do that now. Just spray it down and give it a wipe with the towel. Do all the sides. We're just wiping the oil off of the inside of the drum. See how much oil I got off of there? Now I can try to place the drum onto the rear brakes. Now look here, there are two screws. Remember the Phillips screws, the screws for the Phillips heads? So make sure those line up with your with the holes. Don't put it on the wrong orientation, otherwise you'll just have to take it back off anyway. So let me put this on. We may have gotten lucky. Oh, this is almost going on. No, you see the brake drum is not going on. The shoes need to be adjusted. So let me show you how you do that. Brake shoes just need to be moved around a little bit. So I'm going to move that one like this. Okay, what I've noticed is you want most of the top of the brake bracket to show, and you want just this notch at the bottom. And that seems to work. Let's try it, and we may need more adjustment though. manually adjusted the pads so that the drum fits. And then of course, don't forget to replace your 2 Phillips screws.